Well, essentially I'm in charge of everything to do with the environment at Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, which is made up of a number of different brands, but here in the US the lead brands are Royal Caribbean International, Azamara Cruises and Celebrity Cruises. So anything that we do vis-a-vis the environment and protecting and being stewards for the areas in which we operate, that ultimately is my responsibility to work with all of the environmental officers. We have an environmental officer on every single one of our ships, and working with them and the 44,000 people that are our staff and crew to ensure that we do everything we can to minimise our environmental footprint and maximise the contribution we make to helping to protect the oceans and destinations that we ply our business.
So is that something new for Royal Caribbean? I mean, explain how new is it that real concern and focus on environment? Has it been in the last year, 2 years, 3 years?
No, actually it's been going on for a very long time. Back in 1992 we launched our Save the Waves program, which is really all about working with the crew and the passengers on board to minimise our direct environmental footprint from waste. So it was about really the old age sort of reduce, reuse, recycle kind of approach, and really educating our guests that we don't throw anything overboard, that everything that goes into the waste bins on board gets separated below the decks, and we try to maximise the amount of recycling that we can do in the ports of call that we visit. So really it's been going on for a long time. My position is a new one within the company, and it's really about how do we take a more holistic approach to and get better at what we're doing.
Things such as how do you train 44,000 employees on environmental things? Yeah,
as you say, there really is no sort of guidebook here, although we can learn from others, and that's certainly something that we've been trying to do and engaging in creative partnerships. We're partnered with an organisation called Conservation International and another one called Sustainable Travel International, and both of those are well-known organisations who engage with the private sector in how to be more environmentally responsible. And as I said, through our Save the Waves program, a lot of it is to do with training and capacity building. Every single employee who has a contract on one of our ships, in order to have that contract, has to go through a Save the Waves training in order to be qualified to be an employee on our ship. So, but as I said before, it's really all about how do we get better? How do we do what we're doing and do it more efficiently and more effectively?
So are you finding that clients are asking more about what the cruise line is doing, like in the staterooms to the kitchen to whatever? Do you find that there's more concern or awareness?
Certainly, I think that we're seeing that there's more awareness within our passengers, but also I think it's an expectation that they really, with a brand like ours, they feel, look, you're a good quality brand, we're putting our money into taking, and having a wonderful, valuable vacation, but at the end of the day, they're on vacation. They shouldn't have to worry about this stuff. So they expect us and trust us that we're taking care of these things. And we take that responsibility extremely seriously. For a long time we've been doing the towel reuse program and things like that. And what's interesting is once in a while, if there's any sickness or anything like that on a ship, then essentially what we do is we have to eliminate the towel reuse program, because we want everybody to be using new towels every day, and we can launder them and minimize that. But it's amazing how rapidly we hear back from our passengers, why weren't you doing the towel reuse program? And that, to me, is good that they're keeping us on our toes and making sure that we're living up to those expectations that they have.
So do you think you're pretty much a leader in the cruise sector of our industry as far as paying attention to these things? I mean, everybody is trying to, but I see Royal Caribbean as a leader. Do you feel that?
Well, that's very kind. I mean, that's not really what it's all about for us. I mean, we don't see this as a competitive space amongst the other cruise lines. In fact, we do an awful lot of work of working together and sharing lessons learned of what works and what doesn't. I think different brands and different companies will apply these things in different ways, and at the end of the day, that's up to the consumer to judge. So I think that's what I see myself as, is I'm the chief social maven for the environmental issues, and so I spend a lot of time with lots of different departments. I think probably the ones I spend the most amount of time are what we call our marine operations department. They're the guys who actually run the ships, the engineers and the captains, and then our hotel operations. They're the ones that run the front of house, as it were, on a cruise ship, and do all of the entertainment and all of the meals and things like that. And then it's also, yes, as you say, it's working with the PR department, the legal department, the sales and marketing department, and particularly the supply chain department. We're increasingly doing more and more work looking to see, how is it that we can, green the things that we're purchasing and bringing onto our ships.
So from a personal standpoint, what are you passionate about?
Well, I mean, I'm just, I think I was telling you earlier, I was a scuba diving instructor, and I love the marine realm and spending time on the water and underneath the water, and that's really what got me passionate about this, and that's why I spent 15 years working for a conservation organization, is that I just fundamentally believe that travel, so much of my enjoyment in travel has been experiencing local cultures and tastes and food and smells and the wonderful nature of the places that I've been lucky enough to visit. I've been to over 80 or 90 countries now, and I think that I've been blessed with being able to go to all these wonderful places, and I want to be sure that people in the next generation and future generations get to enjoy the same sorts of wonderful travel experiences that I've been blessed to have been able to enjoy. So that's really what gets me up in the morning, gets me fired up.